Headlines most affecting Abbotsford this week: the homeless camp at City Hall and the Remembrance Day services. A conditional sentence for driving into protesters. Halloween was pretty rough and busy for Mission Mounties. And high school football, the picture looking a little sharper. Alex will have more in sports. All right, Abbotsford, let's get started. The ongoing controversy of that homeless camp next to Abbotsford City Hall and the downtown cenotaph has produced a conundrum. Will the camp interfere with the November 11th Remembrance Day ceremonies? Well, back on the 17th of October, the city did win an injunction to have the camp removed. It is next to the cenotaph. Brittany Maple, the executive director of the Matsqui Abbotsford Impact Society, telling abbyTV the Abbotsford drug war survivors were actively trying to collaborate with Abbotsford Police and the Legion to ensure that Remembrance Day ceremonies proceed safely and respectfully. Now, the plans have altered. The ceremony is still going to go ahead, but with in-person involvement restricted to just those marching in the parade, as well as the veterans and dignitaries. The city is going to live stream the parade on their website, and you can also watch on the screen at Rotary Stadium. Abbotsford News reporting that the 79-year-old man who hit 4 people in Mission with his pickup truck, sentenced to 9 months conditional sentence and 1 year driving prohibition. He was rather impatient a couple of years back trying to get by a residential school march. Richard Manuel was found guilty of dangerous operation of a motor vehicle, and that happened in Abbotsford Provincial Court in September. The judge provided her sentence this past week. Now, Manuel currently lives in Nova Scotia, so he would have to serve his sentence in the community with a curfew between 8 p.m. and 6 a.m. for the first 6 months, but his driving prohibition will be nationwide. Mission Mounties were kept busy on Halloween. They responded to 56 calls for service during the nighttime hours. Some of the most significant issues of the city or of the evening occurred in the area of Cedar and Cherry Avenue. Some 300 young people gathered around Griner Park and Albert McMahon Elementary. Police received reports of a number of offenses, including youth assaulting another youth, rocks being thrown at cars, fireworks being shot at cars, and fireworks being set off in the direction of buildings. So when one officer took a youth into his vehicle to wait for a parent to arrive, another group approached the car, tried to open the doors, began kicking and spitting at police, and one officer was actually hit with a baton, and charges are pending. This is going to cause some frustration, but the City of Abbotsford crews are going to be working to upgrade roads on both Harris Road and Township Line Road on the rail crossing. That's coming up in the coming months. Now, both of these are going to require full road closures. Detours are now in effect until the end of January. So if you're interested in contributing to road safety and volunteering for the 2024 Operation Red Nose team, Abbotsford Police have announced that Abbotsford Restorative Justice will be hosting Operation Red Nose this year with support of Abbotsford PD. Volunteer information can be found on their social media. Mission RCMP looking for assistance in trying to find Kenneth Sukuchev. He was reported missing on October the 27th, but he was last seen on the 20th. He lives on a houseboat in the Fraser River in the area directly south of Mission City, but a red kayak and a life jacket that he kept on shore is now missing. So it's unknown whether he used it recently or whether it was taken by somebody else. So if you have any information, contact Mission RCMP. As the Christmas mail season has started, there is concern of job action between Canada Post and their workers' union. Back on October the 29th, Canada Post said in a media release that they presented new offers to CUPW, the Canadian Union of Postal Workers, that, quote, demonstrate the corporation's commitment to reaching negotiated agreements without any labor disruption. So a couple of days later, on November the 1st, CUPW, the workers' union, now urging Canada Post to align their actions with their words and negotiate new collective agreements for postal workers without any service disruptions. So now we wait. And again, a reminder that Remembrance Day ceremonies are this Monday, which is a stat. So this becomes a long weekend. So there are ceremonies at the downtown Abbotsford Memorial. You can see them on the big screen, either online or at Rotary Stadium. As well, there will be ceremonies in Mission. Coming up, high school football playoffs. Sports with Alex is coming up.
Hello Abbotsford, I got some sports for you. Starting with football, the Robert Bateman Timberwolves and WJ Mowat Hawks clinched division titles and first-round playoff byes after last Friday's action. As such, opponents won't be locked in until after this week's games. But we do know the Hawks will be the home team for the quarterfinal game at Panther Field on November 15th. Although it is November, golf is in the news. The PGA of BC awards were handed out on October 29th. Ledgeview Golf Club's Brady Stead was named the Jack McLaughlin Junior Golf Leader of the Year. Congratulations, Brady. Controversy has been identified as the Black Press reports that Harriet McKenzie, a trans student athlete, has accused an Abbotsford-based university basketball coach of questioning her right to play and allegedly instructing players to attempt to injure her during a Pac West women's basketball game. According to Post Media, Harriet McKenzie, a player with the Nanaimo-based Vancouver Island University Mariners, shared a nearly 4-minute video to her Instagram account about the situation, which she said occurred during a game against the Abbotsford-based Columbia Bible College Bearcats. Coach Taylor McClaggett has been accused of making anti-trans comments. VIU ended up winning both games in the 2-game series. The Vancouver Sun reported that the Pacific Western Athletic Association, which includes both VIU and Columbia, allows transgender athletes to play as long as they comply with the Canadian anti-doping program, which restricts the hormone suppressants and replacements an athlete is allowed to take. Mission Raceway is extremely saddened to learn of the passing of Jerry Epp on October 31st. Jerry was one of the founding members of the Lord Coast Super Combo Series and a respected racer at Mission Raceway Park, and all of Division 6. Racing his 1966 Ford Mustang. Memorial ceremonies are expected to be announced in the coming days. The Abbotsford Canucks have been rolling in September, splitting a 2-game set against the San Diego Gulls. They're in Ontario to play the Rain on Wednesday, but return home on Saturday, November 9th, for Country Night versus the Bakersfield Condors. The Canucks are 3rd in their division and 10th in the league with a 5-4 record. Now coming up, Cari with the weather.
abbyTV weekend weather. So, Cari, can we expect the usual Remembrance Day forecast?
Yes, Dawn, not great weather for Monday. Friday, Saturday, Sunday's weather, though, is going to be mainly cloudy with a bunch of rainy periods. Monday and through the rest of the week, it's going to be pretty chilly with temperatures not getting much above 10 degrees. Your best chance of seeing the sun is probably going to be Thursday. Here's a fun fact. Shakespeare wrote a bunch of poems and plays, and never once did he mention the month of November. Nobody really knows why. Back to you.
Thanks, Cari, and thank you for watching. If you have a local story that you'd like us to report on, always send us a note to news@chilltv.ca. Thanks for watching. Have a great weekend. Don't forget to wear your poppy. I'm Don Lehn.